So you want to get started with the gym and you want to know how much muscle you can really gain, how much you can achieve when it comes to the gym, when it comes to working out. You see all these transformations online. Sometimes they're pretty unrealistic. Some people are obviously on steroids and they don't claim this, and they don't tell you that they are, even though they made this amazing transformations. Some people have amazing genetics. Some people manipulate lighting very well in pictures and they make you think that the transformation was actually really impressive when it wasn't. So it's really hard to say, hard to understand sometimes what a real transformation, what a realistic transformation looks like. So what I'm going to do in this video is just talk about my transformation, talk you through it. And the point of this is to identify, and I want you to understand exactly how much muscle you can gain as someone with average genetics, how much muscle you can gain when it comes to going to the gym, when it comes to working out. So I've been working out for about 7 years now, so quite a long time. So I had a lot of time to work out. And I have made a transformation. I was really skinny when I first started and I used to look like this. Now I'm looking like this, so I improved. So what I'm going to do is walk you through year by year of how much muscle I have gained when it comes to this stuff and how much muscle you can gain as well when it comes to working out, when it comes to starting the gym. First of all, I guess you have to understand the expectations. Expectations wise, if you're somebody with average genetics, then you're not going to be able to gain crazy amount of muscle. When it comes to working out, when it comes to gaining muscle, the law of diminishing returns is a really good representation of what it is like to start going to the gym, because when you first start out, you can literally walk past the gym, have a protein shake, barely even train, and you can gain muscle. However, after you train for a few years, then it becomes harder and harder. Now, most of your gains will happen in the first 2 years of your lifting. And as crazy as it sounds, this is the case. I mean, if you have been lifting for 5+ years, the gains that you're going to be making, if you're a natural person who don't take anything, are going to be pretty minimal. You're going to see results and you're going to be able to become a better version of yourself and still see muscle gains constantly, but it's going to be very, very slow. Now, some people have better genetics than others, some people have bad genetics, but even for people who have with good genetics, most of their gains will come in the first couple of years when it comes to lifting. After that, it's going to be way slower. This is what you have to understand when it comes to going to the gym. A lot of people very much overestimate how much muscle you can really gain. Let me tell you, it is really not as much as you think. So what I'm going to do, as I was saying, is talk you through year by year of how much muscle I have gained when it comes to me and my lifting career and my time of going to the gym. So I started going to the gym at 18. I was pretty skinny. I haven't had any experience when it comes to that. I was pretty athletic. I played sports like football, but I was very skinny, and I would say my genetics are pretty average, maybe below average as well, because look at me, I was pretty skinny at the time. I have my laptop with me, so I'm going to scroll through the different pictures here. So this is what I used to look like, pretty skinny, haven't had any experience when it comes to lifting. Tried doing push-ups here and there, but as you can see, I'm very skinny, like a regular 18-year-old, even more skinny, you could probably say. I'm pretty tall, I'm about 6'4", so 193 centimeters. So to fill out that frame is way harder as well. So if I'm skinny, then I'm going to look even more skinny because of the long limbs that I have. So I guess that's one thing that is a negative, but in the same time, being tall is good, so can't really complain too much. Then after this, I started going to the gym, and I've been lifting for a couple of months, I would say. A friend took me there. I went a couple of times a week, and I trained. I didn't know much of what I was doing. I was just following the friends and following what they are doing. And I made some really small beginner gains, and I really got hooked when it comes to working out. And after a few months, this is what I started to kind of look like. This is me probably about 3 months into the gym max, and I started to get strong on the bench press. I remember when I started, I was benching about probably 40 kilos, and after this I went from 40 to 50, so I got a bit stronger, my kills have improved. It really made me appreciate working out and appreciate the gym. It really made me motivated because I saw results, not every day, but I saw good results, and I became a little bit more muscular than before, and it really got me hooked. It really made me realize that you can become a better version of yourself if you actually try, and it really helped me to translate this to other areas of my life, not just the gym at the end of the day. After about 6 months or so, I actually gained quite a bit of muscle compared to where I started from. You know, they say that after 6 months of training is the only time you ever feel big, because that's before body dysmorphia hits in. Body dysmorphia is the thought of not being ever happy with your body, always thinking that you're too small. When you've been training for 6 months, the gains that you have made are pretty significant compared to where you started from. Because of this, you feel pretty good about it. Later, you become a little bit less happy with it, and you're going to think, oh, I can always be better, because always become a better version of myself. This can be done healthily and non-healthily as well. Some people are really obsessed with this and just hate themselves for it. But I feel like having the mentality of proud but not satisfied is the best way forward, when you want more, but at the same time, you are happy with your body. That's the best way to look at it, in my opinion. But yeah, as you can see, this is what I'm looking like after 6 months or so of lifting. Gained some muscle. I think my bench press has gone up to probably about 60 kilos. So I started from 40 up to 16, 6 months. I don't know, some people start their bench press at 70, 80, some people with good genetics, and by 6 months, they already get to 100 kg. Some people are more fortunate that way. Maybe I didn't train so well either. I mean, I didn't know much about training at the time when I was doing this. So when you're a beginner, you're not going to do everything right. And you only figure things out on the way as you make mistakes. I mean, I was doing a lot of half reps and ego lifting, as you do when you first start, because you want to lift heavy weights and you want to tell that you're strong to your friends. So 1 year into lifting, so at this time I was lifting for about 1 year, I have gained quite a bit of muscle compared to where I started from again. Is it significant? Not really. I went in a small bulk and I gained, I don't know how many pounds or kilos, I don't really know much about that. But I got a bit heavier, as you can see. I probably gained a bit of fat as well, not too much, but I'm still quite skinny if you look at it. And there's a lot more work to be done. I started wearing more tight t-shirts just to look a bit more muscular as well, as you do when you start going to the gym. At this time, I want to say my bench press was about 70 kilos, maybe a little bit more. It wasn't very much, but it was way better than what it was when I first started from. And I was really motivated to keep going as well. I mean, 1 year into it, I mean, most of your gains happen in the first 1 and 2nd year of your lifting. After that, it becomes way slower. So these are the times when I made gains and I've seen results almost on a monthly basis. Even when I was bulking, even when I wasn't bulking, I still felt a bit muscular every time. And every month I look myself in the mirror. And this is the beauty of getting started with the gym, because the results are insane. And as soon as the diminishing returns set in, I mean, after 5 years plus, the results are going to be very, very slow. At this time of my life, even I do this today as well, I pretty much went to the gym every day and I trained and I barely had any rest days. I love doing this. Next to university, waking up, going to the gym, doing university work. I mean, I really love this. I really love this lifestyle. Second year, by now, I would have made a little bit more gains. And this is when I felt like I actually built a body that I was kind of happy with. I was still skinny, but I was a bit more athletic, a bit bigger. Not as skinny as I started off with, and I felt a bit more comfortable in my body. It's not bad, but I mean, the point of this is that you can't make crazy results when it comes to this if you be lifting for only 2 years or if you have average genetics. I think this is a very realistic way to progress as someone who is natural and started going into the gym. You see people like Thor, Chris Hemsworth or whatever his name is, he made a crazy transformation, but obviously he's not natural. These actors are not natural. The transformation that they make, I mean, I thought that that's possible and I thought that I could become that, but listen, for most people out there, naturally, even on steroids, probably is not possible. So the transformation is going to be very, very slow. But the point of this is to understand that even though you'll never look like some of these actors who are always on gear, you can still build a body that you're proud of. You can still become a better version of yourself when it comes to your body and still become proud of what you have achieved. So just because you can't get to that does not mean that the body that you build is not going to be impressive. You can still build an impressive body for you, no matter how skinny you are. So this next bit is roughly about 3 years into lifting. So by now I would have had quite a bit of experience when it comes to this. I was I would say pretty knowledgeable when it comes to lifting, going to the gym, nutrition. I started looking after that a bit more, trying to make sure that I do a lean bulk instead of just eating loads of food. Make sure that I eat healthy options, make sure to always have carbs before working out, sometimes a coffee, pre-workout. The rep ranges and how much I'm lifting has got better as well. My form has improved, so I was a bit more knowledgeable at this time. And as you can see, I gained some results. I remember I actually went on a pretty good bulk where I gained quite a bit of muscle. I was pretty strong compared to what I started from, but I really, really wanted more and it wasn't really enough for me at the time. But I think I weighed about 92 kilos, which funny enough is how much I weigh right now. But I would say I was a little bit more fat, well, not really fat, but I'm a little bit more lean now at 92 kg, let's put it that way. I gained some muscle since then, and because of that I get to be the same weight with a leaner body fat percentage, if you know what I'm saying. Also, as you can see, this is an attempt on me benching 100 kg. I did get this, but the form wasn't the best. I didn't even go all the way down, my arse is in the air. I did get this. Another one is here, me squatting 145 kilos. This is something I was quite proud of. I was at the stage where I was really happy with what I achieved, but I thought to myself, I can get more muscular. Little did I know that by now, in the rate in which you can gain muscle is going to slow down significantly. This is something that you learn the hard way by still doing the right thing, going to the gym, eating the right foods, getting your sleep, still doing everything, and you're realizing that, oh, I can't put an extra rep on my bench press anymore. I can't gain muscle every month. It slows down significantly. And after this, obviously lockdown hit, which was quite an interesting time for all of us. I kept training outside, well, the gyms were closed, so I couldn't really do much of that. Sometimes they reopened, they closed again. There were different phases, so-called. Mini lockdowns, large lockdowns, whatever. The gyms opened, closed again, so it wasn't very consistent. I tried to train a little bit outside in the park, do some push-ups, do some pull-ups, and these did help me to more or less maintain my muscles. Maybe I lost a little bit, but I tried to push myself to failure, and this is what I looked like then. I would say I've done pretty well when it comes to maintenance, maintaining what I have, but this is what I looked like before lockdown, and after lockdown or during lockdown, this is what I look like. And I mean, doing some pull-ups did help me to maintain, maybe even gain a little bit of muscle on my back, I think. But when it comes to bench press, by the time I came back to the gym after lockdown, I actually lost a bit on it, which I mean is something that you can gain back pretty quickly. But I mean, you have to constantly perform the movement itself in order to get used to it. Push-ups do simulate this, but not enough. And this next section is just after the gyms have reopened. So as you can see, I filled out my frame a little bit more muscular. In all honesty, I don't look that much different from this picture and these pictures and these videos to what I look like now. And the biggest reason is, as I was saying, is the fact that you can't gain as much muscle anymore the more advanced you get. And this is something that's, I would say, is pretty realistic for somebody out there who's got average genetics. You have to understand that you can't gain crazy amounts of muscle. It's not going to work that way. All these actors, all these people that are on steroids, all these people with very good genetics, for them it's going to be different. Maybe you're one of those people as well. Maybe you do have very good genetics. And in that case, fine, you can achieve something more exceptional. But most people out there, building a body that is pretty good is what's going to be most realistic for them. So this was just after lockdown, so it was around 2021, 2022. Since then I kept training, and honestly I gained a little bit of muscle. My bench has gone up. Right now I can bench, my 1 rep max is about 110 kg probably, which is the strongest I've ever been. I can do 3 reps with 100 kg, 7, 8 with 90. So it's pretty good, and I got a bit stronger, and I did a little bit of lean bulking, trying to gain muscle, gain weight really, really slowly, and I think it did work. I started doing a bit of testosterone, and that did help a little bit as well. I felt like my lifts have slightly gone up from it. I felt better in my workout, so these little things did make a difference. Creatine is something else that I started taking, so it seems that I've gained a little bit of muscle, but I feel like it can just about be noticed if you really, really look carefully. Despite this though, as you can see, the transformation itself, looking back to the first day when I started lifting to the point where I am now, is pretty impressive still, in the sense that it is a significant change. So you can definitely build a body that you're proud of. You just have to keep going, keep training, and just accept the fact that maybe you will never look like one of these bodybuilders. As I was saying, maybe you will do because you have good genetics, but for most people out there, this is not very realistic, so you can't aim for this. This transformation is something that gives you very good perspective, in my opinion, to see what it is like, what it might be like for you when you start going to the gym. In terms of numbers or pounds or kilograms or muscle that you can gain, I found this chart the other day on the internet. If I found it, I'm going to put this on the screen right now. It gives you an idea of how much you can gain as a man and as a woman when it comes to going to the gym. This is more of a realistic one. When I first started going to the gym, I have been told that in the first year you can gain 1 kilo every month of you going to the gym. So that means for the first 12 months of you lifting, you can gain 12 kilos of muscle, which is, how much is that, 30 pounds or something? Crazy. If that was the case, everyone would look absolutely jacked. This is not very possible. So this graph is more of a realistic expectation, realistic representation of what you can really gain when it comes to this stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider giving it a like if you found it useful. If you like otherwise content to do with self-improvement, I talk about many different things like going to the gym, working out, working on yourself, doing some sports, boxing, football, traveling for self-improvement, for example, general self-improvement and becoming a better version of yourself. If you like that type of content, then maybe subscribe to the channel. And I release a video pretty much every week, so tune in for the next one, which will be released actually next week.